Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky began his speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos with a minute of silence to honor the victims of the helicopter crash in Brovary. The top leadership of the Ukrainian Interior Ministry, including the head of the ministry, Denis Monastyrsky, died in the crash. Meanwhile, European Council President Charles Michel arrived in Kiev and met with President Volodymyr Zelensky. He appealed to the West for arms supplies. Yesterday, in front of the European Parliament, I stated that tanks must be delivered. I repeat this appeal. We want to support you because we are aware that the coming weeks may decide what happens. Therefore, decisions are necessary now. To oppose thousands of tanks of the Russian Federation, bravery of our servicemen and motivation of Ukrainian people is not enough. We need weapons. According to Ukrainian intelligence, the Russian Federation wants to create an armed force of 2 million soldiers. Within days, Vladimir Putin may announce another mobilization, this time involving 500,000 people. Today, Ukraine needs support to be able to defend itself. It does not mean that Ukraine is winning today. Ukraine is resisting Russian aggression. NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg stressed that Poland has been actively supporting Ukraine from the beginning with military, economic, and humanitarian aid, so it is an inspiration to other countries.
Turkey has some legitimate security concerns. No alternate ally has suffered more terrorist attacks than Turkey. PKK is regarded as a terrorist organization by NATO allies.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, speaking in Davos, Switzerland, avoided answering journalists' questions on the issue of the transfer of Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine. Disappointing, that's what journalists say about Scholz's speech. In Berlin, on the other hand, Defense Minister Boris Pistorius was sworn in, meeting with his U.S. counterpart, Lloyd Austin, a few hours later.
I very much look forward to working together with you. And it's great to be back in Germany. You know, I've got a lot of fond memories of your country from my first assignment here as a young officer. And Germany remains one of our most important allies.
The media is reporting that Germany's decision to donate its own tanks is subject to one condition. The U.S. must send Abrams to Ukraine. Washington rejects such a scenario for the time being. The coming hours will be crucial, and we will know the result of the negotiations tomorrow after the contact group on military aid to Ukraine meets in Ramstein. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki addressed Germany's policy toward the war in Ukraine in an interview with CNN television. He stated that politicians there are still embedded in the previous era and have put everything on one card, on Russia. It's not just a question of allowing or not allowing. The critically important question is whether Germany will finally give its share of heavy and modern tanks. And this is the main question. Those 14 Polish additional tanks to 250 already handed over are not a game changer. But if France, and especially Germany and some other countries, gave 20 to 30 tanks each, it could make a difference. Former NATO chief and Danish Prime Minister Anders Fogh Rasmussen said Berlin's hesitation to send tanks has led to an escalation of the war. We cannot give Putin more time to devise cruel strategies to kill Ukrainians. Germany must unleash the Leopards now, so Ukraine can take back its territory. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Defense Mariusz Błaszczak held a video conversation with the heads of defense ministries of countries that support Ukraine with arms supplies. Our job is to show that only real, actual help matters. Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson has announced that his country will supply Ukraine with Archer cannon howitzers. Sweden will also send 50 CV-90 infantry fighting vehicles.